Hey guys, Izzy here from NetPlay and today I want to talk to you about the 40% rule. Welcome back, guys. So in today's video I want to talk to you about the 40% rule. And so this video is actually inspired by something that I was actually watching in regards to Navy SEALs actually. So the story is a little bit like this. There was a group of guys who decided to kind of take part in this like really long all-terrain kind of marathon where they were going to be kind of out in the wilderness and going through all these kind of like obstacles and things like that. And so he was talking about like he was him and a group of like 4 friends or something like that that were supporting each other to kind of get through this whole ordeal through this marathon. And they were carrying all this all this gear with them and food and everything else to kind of survive, because it was a couple of days worth of hiking and things like that they had to get through to get complete this whole marathon. And he's talking about how throughout the course of the marathon he noticed that there was this other gentleman who was basically doing all this competition by himself, right? So here's this group of guys, like 4 or 5 guys, coming to kind of support themselves to kind of get through this whole marathon. And there's this one guy by himself who was doing it all alone, right? He has set up all this stuff by himself and I guess go through it all alone. And so he said that it caught his attention, and it caught his attention because all he was carrying with him as well was a folding chair and a pack of crackers, right? And so at the end of the marathon, right, they were all exhausted and kind of beaten up by this whole experience. But he saw that the guy, by himself, kind of was managed to kind of get through this whole thing by himself. And so he approached him and he's like, "Hey, like, what gives? Like, how are you able to kind of get through this? It killed 4 of us to kind of manage to support ourselves to get through this whole thing. How can you do this by yourself?" He's like, "Well, you know what? I've gone through a lot of training myself. I used to be a Navy SEAL, and so I'm kind of used to very intense training, and anytime that I have a challenge, I have to kind of overcome it." And so this guy was really motivated by this guy's determination and his mindset in terms of getting things done regardless of like the pain and the things that he had to go through to kind of get through this marathon. And so what he decided is he wanted to train with him, right? So he asked him, he's like, "Hey, what do you Nick, do you live in the area? Do you mind if we like maybe train together?" And the guy said, "For sure." He's like, "Yeah, I'd love to do that." So they ended up actually starting like to do some actual like physical training together, like working out. And on his first day, he said that he told him, he's like, "Okay, well, the SEAL asked this gentleman, he's like, 'How many pull-ups can you do?' And he said, I don't know." He's like, I'm not very strong." He's like, "Okay, well, let's try it out." So he got on there and he did 6. He said he did 6 pull-ups and just barely, like just struggling to make 6. He's like, "Okay, cool. Let's wait 30 seconds and then jump on and do it again." So the guy's like, "Okay." So he waited 30 seconds, he jumped back on, and then he managed to do 4 pull-ups that time, right? And he's like just really struggling this time. He did 4 pull-ups. And then he's like, "Okay, let's wait 30 seconds and do it again." And then the next time he was only able to do 1 pull-up, right? And so the SEAL is like, "All right, well, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna keep doing this until you hit 100." And the guy's like, "Well, I guess we're gonna be here a while because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do 100." So sure enough, he went out there and he said he completed the 100 pull-ups. And at the end of it, the SEAL was telling him that a lot of the times when we feel either physically tired or our mind is starting to race and telling us, "No, we can't do something, we can't do something, we can't do something," whether it's physical or otherwise, right? It's not really because we aren't capable of doing it, right? Really, when it comes to that, and statistically speaking, we're usually we're only working at 40% capacity. We're only 40% of our actual effort into it, and we just let our mind play these games to us and makes us give up on things, right? And so that means that we can still give another 60%. Right? And so that's the point that kind of got me, and it's like it got me really thinking about what are times where maybe I've given up, where I felt maybe I can't do this anymore. I think I've hit a cap. I can't either physically do this, or I'm just mentally exhausted, or I don't know, right? And sometimes I've given up on myself on things that I know that I could probably be doing, but I didn't because about my own excuse that I can't do it, right? And I kind of have given up on myself. And so I kind of turn that question back to you, right? Is, what are times maybe you've experienced some of the challenges, or maybe you've even gotten started on something simply because of the fact that you already are giving up on yourself because you think you can't do it. Even before you start, you already give up, right? And that's an automatic fail right there, just because we don't even give ourselves a chance to try, right? Because I guarantee you that if you try, again and again and again, right, that you'll be able to accomplish pretty much anything that you want to accomplish. It's just a matter of you getting that mindset of saying, I'm going to do this, and not giving yourself a chance to try it out and say, I'm going to try this out and see how it goes. Because when you do that, you're already setting up yourself up for failure. So if you are going to do that, you shouldn't even bother doing anything, because if you're just going to try something, then at the first the first chance that you get when you see an obstacle, or you come into contact with some sort of a barrier, you're going to give up. Right? You're like, I knew it. I knew this wasn't going to happen. I knew there's going to be struggle. It's just too hard, and I'm going to give up. Right? But if you go in yourself with a mindset of saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this until I make it work. Then that's the mindset you're going to need to do to accomplish your goal. Right? And that's the way it is in business. And that's the way that you need to approach yourself in business, because it's a business, right? And so if you look at the stories of all these CEOs and all these great people who have accomplished really great things, it's people who never give up. Right? They never give up on their dream, they never give up on their idea, and so they continue to push until they manage to make it happen. And that's why they're inspiring, right? That's why they're such an inspiration to other people, because they didn't give up on what it is they needed to do until they made it happen, right? And we see that as inspirational because we know that we give up so easily on some things, and so that's why it is that we seek people like this to look up to, because they give us a little bit of that extra inspiration for us to go maybe that little extra couple percent. But just know that you still have 60% of your reserve. Even when you think you can't go anymore, you really do have 60% more to go, right? You're only at 40%. And if you can take that mindset and think of, I still have 60% to go, that'll give you that little extra push that you need for you to actually get yourself going and finish whatever it is that you're looking to do. Okay, so I hope that little that story kind of helped motivate you. I know it definitely helped motivate me, and so it made me inspired to actually record this video for you guys today. So I hope that's all I really got for you guys today. If you guys like these little motivational videos, let me know. Leave me a comment or reply back to me. Let me know that you guys are liking it. And until next time, guys, this is Get Out There and have some fun.
You can get more online marketing and training tips at netplaymarketing.com. While you're there, make sure to request access to the NetPlay Marketing Facebook Mastermind group, where you will be able to connect and network with other like-minded entrepreneurs. Find out what's working online right now and get any of your questions answered on how to best grow your business.